Before I begin, I'd just like to acknowledge that this is First Nations territory that we're in, and I thank the First Nations for taking care of this land for all those thousands of years. You know, it's hard to recognize when something historic is happening. When Ferdinand was assassinated, nobody said, oh gee, this is the beginning of World War I. But you all know, I think, that you're part of a great turning, a fundamental shift in the way that we live on this planet. Part of what's driving it is rising oil prices and peak oil. Part of it is our health that's being impacted by pollution. And part of it is a growing awareness of a new environmental understanding.
That gives to democracy a future, because a state who is totally dependent in the lifeblood for all things, for civilization, for economy, this is energy. Without energy, nothing works. A development in which governments become totally dependent, the whole society, from an energy supplier, has nothing to do anymore with democracy, because the future of such a country is not anymore in the hand of their own democratic institutions. And this is the present situation.
Probably the thing that I find the most powerful is, again, a German example. It's the Plus Energy houses that were built by Rolf Ditch in Freiburg, so 58 houses, all of them very standard German middle-class townhomes. They cost about the same as a standard German middle-class townhome. Every single one over the course of a year produces more energy than it consumes. So to my mind, I mean, your house as a power plant, that is an extraordinarily powerful idea.
Why the Renewable Energy Act in Germany worked, why it became so successful. We created a special energy market for renewables, which could not anymore which was not anymore interferable by the others. We created three elements. First element, a guaranteed access to the grid. Second, for each renewable energy power player, even if it is a very small one. Second, to give a guaranteed payment. Only with these two elements we could overcome any interference of the power companies, the investments. The investors had the opportunity to do it without asking for a permission by the conventional power players. They got investment autonomy, and therefore, they had their back free to do that. They had no vested interest in the energy system. And the third element was not to make a cap, because only if there's no cap, there is an industrial development, there are industrial investments. These are long-term investments. And these three elements created the dynamic we have in Germany. Only this.
And anywhere where they've done the German-style feed-in tariff, one of the brilliant things about it is it's not a subsidy. It is a ratepayer surcharge, basically. So it's not your tax dollars as a German consumer that are feeding this sort of extra cost of solar and wind. You're just paying per kilowatt hour. What that means is whoever uses more energy pays more of their share. On top of that, you now have the opportunity as a German citizen to participate in producing energy for the first time in a very long time, and that can offset some of your costs. So from the consumer or average taxpayer's point of view, it's an incredibly attractive offer. If you are a conventional energy producer with hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars invested in the infrastructure of delivering these fuel sources, it's not so attractive.
Therefore, the political art is to transform with the right policy, like the Renewable Energy Act, to transform the macroeconomic benefit into a microeconomic incentive. Then the dynamic from and with the society starts. Because nothing can become implemented faster than renewable energies. We have a short installation time, very short with renewable energies. We have a long construction time for power stations. Therefore, the argument is nonsense that we would need time. We need, if we are in a race against time, we have the best opportunity to do it with decentralized renewable energy system. But why 100%? Because only then the justification is over for investors, for conventional energies, or for governments that we would need new coal power stations or new nuclear power stations. The justification is always that renewable energies are not enough or would not be enough, but it is enough. Look to Canada, that's my final remark. Look to Canada. Or look to Ontario. I got the numbers in the morning. Roughly 30,000 megawatt electric power supply, electric power capacity, production capacity. 10,000 is hydro already. 10,000 is hydro. That means you need 20,000 megawatt. 20,000 for replacing coal and nuclear. 20,000 megawatt. In a country which is like Ontario, which is 3 times larger than Germany. Germany has 350,000 square kilometers and 85 million people. We are highly industrialized. We are export champion for industrial goods in the world. But we could, with a small area, introduce nearly 25,000 power capacities in roughly 10 years. Roughly 20 years. That means it is easy to show. With, if you take the most modern windmills with a higher individual capacity, we could show, it is possible to show for Canada that within 5 years you could substitute 20,000 megawatt nuclear and coal and combine it with the existing hydropower. Nothing is better technologically, complementary than hydropower from dams with wind, because then you have solved all reserve problems if there is sometimes not enough wind. Then you take one turbine more and you have it. With such a background of 1/3 large hydropower in dams, it is totally easy to come to 100% solution by wind power investments within 5 years. Where is the problem? The problem is in the mines. It is not a technological problem, it is not an economic problem. The problem is only in the mines. And problems and barriers in the mines we can overcome, all of us, very fast, because it is just getting the information, getting the recognition of the real alternative. That means we have the perspective and we should run, and then we can win the future. Thank you very much.